The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
And those that don't know, actually, Zeus is a proud alumni, a Washington fellow alumni of the U.S. Embassy programmings, and definitely we'll soon have him on the show. And of course, and now today's theme is the PEPFAR dreams and how the youth are affected by HIV and AIDS and what is being done to raise awareness amongst the youth about this extremely sensitive topic. The American Embassy has a program called PEPFAR Dreams. Do you know anything about this particular program? Do you understand it? What would you like to know? Well, tune into the show. And remember, 395-6962 is my studio line, plus 267-395-6962 is my WhatsApp line. 14962 is my SMS line. Please feel free to engage with us. Like all the U.S. Embassy Gaborone Facebook pages, social media pages, which is Twitter, Instagram, and all of the above. Well, we've got a most important person in the building today to explain to us about PEPFAR. What is PEPFAR? What is PEPFAR Dreams? And he goes by the name Ray Emmanuel Mafoko. He is the PEPFAR Dreams coordinator at the U.S. Embassy Gaborone. Ray Mafoko, first and foremost, welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you and good morning, Swift. My name is Emmanuel Mafoko. I'm the PEPFAR Dreams coordinator.
Yes, sir.
We are here, and thank you for having us here in the U.S. team, and also the Dreams ambassador, and the PEPFAR ambassador here.
Yes.
We are here to come and talk about the Dreams program. The Dreams program is a program that is targeted to adolescent girls and young women.
Okay.
Aged between 9 and 24.
Okay.
And the goal of Dreams is actually to reduce infections among adolescent girls in Botswana, and also to empower them to be resilient, determined, resilient, empowered, AIDS-free, and mentored and safe.
Okay.
We take a wholesome approach when dealing with the adolescent girls. We take care of the family. The family is also one of our target group.
Okay,
also
interesting.
Target the peers, the friends, and the relationships. And also we target the community at large.
Okay, Remafoko, your PEPFAR footprint, is it around the whole of Botswana, kana le mo Gaborone hela, kana le mo Francistown? Are you guys, does PEPFAR speak to urban and rural areas?
Yes, Dreams is implemented in the both urban and rural district. But there are only 8 districts that have been selected based on the burden of infections among adolescents and girls.
Okay, wow.
So there is Serowe, Gaborone, Southern, Katling, Mahalape, Southeast, Bubirwa, and Kwene East.
Okay.
So those are the highest burden of HIV districts. That's why the Dreams program is focused on.
Fantastic. Well, it's Gabs FM Power to engage your world. If you remember, this is an important conversation because the war against HIV and AIDS is far from over. It is something that we, you and I, Motswana ko lapeng, it is our responsibility. It is not your government's. It is neither the U.S. embassies. It is a national issue that we have to come together and play our role. And let me ask you this question, Remafoko. Give us some stories. What kind of initiatives has PEPFAR Dreams done so far? How has it gone? What are some of the challenges? What are some of the wins that you can, highlight to Rona, Botswana, Baba Redise?
Yes. One of the challenges that we faced was that we realized that PEPFAR Dreams program visibility is very low. Okay. And the awareness about the program is very low. So we embarked on a campaign, the Dreams communication and marketing campaign that started around, I think it was around March.
March this year?
Yes.
Okay.
And then we have actually conducted road shows as part of that campaign.
Wow.
In order to raise awareness about the Dreams program and also improve the Dreams brand visibility.
Yes, absolutely.
And the other thing was that we also wanted to mobilize adolescent girls and young women to enroll into Dreams program. By that, we created awareness for them to also to know about the program and its benefit, and also to get into the program.
Okay, one thing that you do not know, I am the founder of Pula Sports Development Association. I'm also an alumni of some of the U.S. programming, and we did a partnership with Stepping Stones, and I've seen the PEPFAR Dreams brand come into Buntling. I've seen them actually actively on the ground, speaking to young ladies, bringing them on board and educating them. I think that's such an important issue. Whether we like it or not, sex education needs to start. It's something that we walk away from, but Tota rona as Botswana, we need to start having that conversation as early as possible. Whether we like it or not, our young girls need to understand, where they stand in line with these difficult conversations. I have a girl child, so you'll excuse me. I think it's an important conversation. I would like to celebrate you and all the work that you're doing. PEPFAR, everybody behind the scenes. Thank you so much, Kor. Today, HIV and AIDS is almost like a forgotten thing, if I may say it in an appropriate way, because bogologolo in the 1980s, it was a huge thing. It was like COVID-19, and we should not forget. And please, whether we like it or not, these are things that we must have a conversation for. And if you've just joined us, welcome to the Stars and Stripes show, America in Botswana. If you're wondering what it is about, it's about a shared prosperity, shared health, shared dynamics, where we come together and say, look, let's have a discussion around what the U.S. is doing in Botswana and how we are all one people fighting one cause. And today the show theme is PEPFAR Dreams. And if you've just joined us, I'm speaking to Ray Emmanuel Mafoko, who is the coordinator at the U.S. Embassy. But in the building, I also have a lady. She's a good friend of mine. She goes by the name Aisha Chowdhury Huey. She is the public affairs associate with the U.S. Embassy, and she's here. She was recently involved with the Have It All PEPFAR Dreams training. Aisha, welcome to the show. What was that? What was it about? Talk to me. How are you?
Thank you, Swift. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I'm excited to be here. It's funny you mentioned the forgotten thing.
Yes.
And that's actually exactly what we did with this training.
Okay.
So this Have It All training was basically based off of a Have It All Reloaded contest that we had. But let me backspace here a little bit.
Let's do it.
In 2017, the U.S. Embassy, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health and Wellness and PEPFAR, they created this amazing documentary called Have It All.
Oh, wow.
And in this documentary, they followed and interviewed these beautiful, inspiring people.
Okay.
Their ages were 20 to 71. I think my favorite was the 71-year-old Mr. Stanley, who was just this super sweet little guy in this big suit. But it was such a powerful documentary because it had this message that these people are living with HIV/AIDS, and it's possible to move forward in your life, to get treatment, to get tested. Those things are okay, and we have to overcome this taboo. We have
the stigma.
Yeah, and
absolutely.
Come forward in our communities and have these difficult conversations. Because I think Botswana is doing so well with, overcoming so many of these issues that it's just so important. And so we had this contest, and the contest, we basically had hundreds of people all over Botswana, mainly young people who applied.
Okay.
And we selected 5 brand ambassadors.
Hello.
And one of whom is actually here.
In the building. Let me do this. Yes. Okay.
I love it. And so the 5 brand ambassadors went through this rigorous training.
Okay.
I feel a little sorry for them because day 5 they were like, whew.
It's hectic.
That was intense, but that was kind of the goal. We wanted them to be just really best equipped with whatever we can offer to them. So we actually partnered with Hotwire on this training, and it was 5-day, very intense course. And the goal of the training is for them to go into their communities and, as young brand ambassadors for Have It All, to go spread the message among the youth on HIV/AIDS to get tested, to get treatment,
wow,
to raise awareness.
So basically it was an intense training to capacitate them in terms of communicating this important conversation in their community. So from Sorowe to Gaborone to wherever around Botswana, that's what the objective, if I'm understanding you correctly?
Yes, absolutely. So
Okay.
we have a brand ambassador in Hansi, in Francistown,
Wow.
in Sorowe, and Gaborone.
And they're all young people?
They're all young people, and they all
Fantastic.
have different ideas. So,
Wow.
the brand ambassador in Francistown is actually working on a documentary in
Nice.
Kalunga, so that he can really make an impact in that community that normally would get left out on
Yes,
such a discussion.
absolutely.
So,
And you know what I like about that, Aisha, sorry to cut you off, is that, often enough we think about issues in urban context. We tend to forget that HIV and AIDS is not an urban issue.
Yes.
It is a national issue.
Absolutely.
And in order to get to Motswana Nanko Francistown, Motswana Nanko Sorowe, you need to tailor make your approach to that particular target audience. Facebook can work in Gaborone, but it perhaps doesn't work in Khansi.
No.
And that is a different conversation. So well done. I'm loving it.
Yeah, no, and I'm really excited with the things they're going to do with this, PEPFAR funded grant.
Okay.
I think they're, they're going to make a big difference because they're the youth.
Okay.
And them talking to the youth is you can't ask for anything better than that.
Absolutely. Well, kings and queens, welcome to the Stars and Stripes show. I've got two ambassadors in the building, brand ambassadors. Japi's in the building. But let me ask, and I'm going to take a quick break. I've got to tell you something. There was a young man whose name is Drummer Boy. You guys know Drummer Boy?
Yes.
And he's a huge case study in terms of a positive case study that we can learn from. Unfortunately, he lost his life to HIV and AIDS. Unfortunately, due to the stigma around HIV and AIDS, allegedly he wasn't taking his medication. And of course, there are mental health issues related to, stigma can cause mental health issues. He was a big brand name around the country. And it is a story where young people need to learn from such a very difficult and painful story. And sadly, he lost his life, and nobody knew what was going on. Obviously, when you don't take your medication, it starts to show to a certain extent. We start to see that you are unhealthy. And sadly, he lost his life, whereby in 2021, there's absolutely no need for any person to lose their life, especially if we deal with this particular issue at an early stage. So I think that is why this conversation is very important for young people. Young people, whether we like it or not, are promiscuous. Young people, whether we like it or not, are curious. Young people, whether we like it or not, are still trying to mature and find their feet in this thing called life. And that's why PEPFAR Dreams, in my opinion, is very, very important. And of course, what would I do without playing Drummer Boy, right? Salalina, enjoy it. We're taking a quick break and we'll be back shortly.
Salengwana bukuwing, salengwana bukuwing, takopana setloeng. I remember ubereka makuwing, remogolo ase go ba dijo mo tafoleng, and I'm on a grind trying to make a milli. Cause if I don't, somebody gonna have to pay the billy. That's why, cause I pussy little bitty. Cause I have a big dream living in a small city. Ke gopola the hard work, ke gopola untelela go dira my artwork. I know go le go di mo, ke tata ke go join ke sampikira my passport. Bara sabosile, lena khalekile, ke tlo sala le mankawile. Ha di tsala tsa me tsotlhe dile. Salalena, tsatsile pirima. ke letse ke go lorile ke letse ke na le wena o fodile ka phadimo ga ke qogile I get so I get fitla ramasedi ya go sokile unkhodisitse o tlokile that is one thing I shouldn't forget ha ke popile le di khontsere orile no hard drive mara memories ke di storile never thought that I could see you in the box let's go as a game let's on the Xbox la fisitse ke go bona mama Allah ke tlo go dira tsotlhe tsene di mo palla ke lebogela thuto yo impileng even though ke sena kutlo sometimes I just wanted you to see my little daughter before born I would kutlo and that's one time
It's Gabs FM, power to engage your world. Rest in peace to the young man. He's definitely a son of the soil, an asset, a jewel, a diamond. We call him Drummer Boy Salalina. And a painful story, but a powerful story. This is alongside Katlego Salalina, and it's an important conversation. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Stars and Stripes Show, proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy in partnership with Gabs FM. And of course, it's titled The Stars and Stripes Show, America in Botswana. The theme of today is PEPFAR dreams, and if you've just joined us, understand that we're having a discussion about how the youth are affected by HIV and AIDS and what is being done to raise awareness amongst the youth about this extremely sensitive topic. And we have unsung heroes behind the scenes who are doing so much to ensure that our nation is educated. The young people are being educated, and whether we like it or not, young people are the future and tomorrow's leaders, and that is why this conversation is important. And we just had a conversation with Ray Emmanuel Mafoko, who was talking about PEPFAR dreams and what it means and some of the challenges related to it. And of course, your time is 11:25 across the nation. We're going into Ask the Shah J, otherwise known as Ask the Acting Ambassador, about, anything. And we put together your questions. You people, you are the biggest stakeholder of the Stars and Stripes Show. And of course, follow the U.S. Embassy on all their social media pages. And today we're speaking to Her Excellency Amanda Jacobson. We're going to ask a couple of questions, and we managed to get hold of her and make sure that she answers the following questions. Now, question number one: how does the U.S. Embassy tackle human trafficking? We know that this is a big and sensitive issue. What policies are there to combat this? The number of missing persons in Botswana is alarming, and certainly we cannot rule out human trafficking. This is a question of vital importance, and this is what Her Excellency the Shah J had to say.
Government truly prioritizes our anti-trafficking in person efforts. We tackle this through the Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000. Notably, we publish a Trafficking in Persons report each year, which is our principal diplomatic tool to engage foreign governments on human trafficking. You can see this on the U.S. Embassy of Gaborone website. Our TIP report is the world's most comprehensive resource of governmental anti-trafficking efforts and reflects the U.S. government's commitment to global leadership on this key human rights and law enforcement issue. As you will see in the 2021 TIP report, Botswana maintained Tier 2 status. Tier 2 denotes governments of countries who do not fully meet U.S. Trafficking Victims Protection Act of 2000 anti-human trafficking minimum standards for the elimination of trafficking, but are still making significant efforts to do so. Tier 1 is the highest ranking, followed by Tier 2, Tier 2 watch list, and lastly, Tier 3. The last TIP report noted several positive interventions that Botswana has taken, including an overall increase in anti-human trafficking efforts as compared to the previous year, particularly in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic, and continued implementation of the Anti-Human Trafficking National Action Plan and the provision of additional services to victims who participated in trials against their traffickers. The report also details 13 recommendations to further improve Botswana's anti-human trafficking agenda. This includes legislative gaps within Botswana's Anti-Human Trafficking Act of 2014, increasing the capacity of stakeholders to assist victims of human trafficking, enhancing government efforts to raise awareness of the crime, and also ensuring the successful prosecution of offenders.
Powerful stuff. And this is an important conversation that we must have. We cannot afford to be complacent around issues related to human trafficking. One child gone is one child too many, in my opinion. And of course, we have to adopt a proactive approach towards subjects to do with this. Thank you so much to Amanda. Definitely. And I got to applaud the U.S. Embassy in partnership with BW government around this very factor. Together, we can do a lot more. Question 2, what do you think are the similarities that exist between Botswana and the United States? This is what the acting ambassador had to say.
Well, the United States and Botswana have many shared democratic, economic, and security values, and that is really the cornerstone of our relationship and partnership, dating since Botswana's independence in 1966. And as Ambassador Cloud, who left the country in May 2022, said in his farewell op-ed, our cooperation on mitigating climate change, countering wildlife crimes, improving agricultural yields, supporting women's political aspirations, and championing human rights are a testament to the strong ties between our two great nations. And I know that our relationship will continue to grow.
Definitely. Rasimo states it, but definitely we're going to continue to grow, and a partnership that is well deserving. I think when two nations come together and decide that we're going to work together for a common goal of uplifting humanity, uplifting the global citizen, both Botswana and Americans together, is an important conversation. Last question, what does leadership mean to you?
That's a great question. I'm really passionate about building a workforce where people feel appreciated for their contributions and empowered and supported to take risks. My goal as a leader is to empower my team members to find their professional passions and to be mentors and leaders themselves. Being a leader is not easy, but I'm grateful every day to have this opportunity.
The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
And that's how we end the Ask the Shah, otherwise known as Ask the Acting Ambassador. Important conversations. And you know what I love about this particular segment is that we get to hear from the voice of, the U.S. Embassy in Gaborone to understand different issues, human trafficking, whether similarities between Botswana and the United States, and what does leadership mean? Leadership. Everything starts and falls on the back of leadership. And without good leadership, solid leadership, we cannot move forward. Shout out to the acting ambassador, Her Excellency Amanda Jacobson. Thank you so much. And of course, we're moving swiftly along. The time is 11:31, and I got my favorite person, or one of my favorite. I got a lot of people in the building. So, hey, jealousy, that spirit of jealousy out in the name of. And she goes by the name Wabile Tau. She's got an amazing personality. Me and her have clicked from day one. I think me and her need to have a show together.
Now you're talking.
You know what I'm saying? We need to have a show together. This segment is called Chasing the Dream. And personally, this is a very important segment for myself, and I hope for you as well. This is where you get to hear about all the educational opportunities that the U.S. Embassy offers through Education USA office for prospective students, academics, and professionals. Please do not think that the student even if you are the CEO of a certain entity, you That's can right. definitely benefit. How are you, Tsalam?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
Fantastic. I must say you look absolutely dazzling and colorful.
Oh, I like it. I came here prepared. Like today I want to dazzle on the Stars and Stripe. I was like, I'm a stripe in yellow.
Nwana, welcome. Do not change that down. We're going to continue, and you're going to hear from Matau shortly after this.
Kasane. Power to engage your world is on 97.7 FM.
It's Gabs FM, power to engage you all. Off the mic, we hear it was your birthday yesterday. Happy 21st.
I know, so fantastic. I'm so
Wow.
young.
You look young. You're dazzling. I hope you were showered with many gifts and obviously celebrated. Now, if you're asking who is this fantastic person who is in the studio, she's a great individual. And of course, she's from Education USA, and she plays a huge and important role in, everyday life. And of course, she is currently the U.S. Embassy Public Affairs Office to highlight. She's she's the education advisor. Uabile Tau is the U.S. Embassy Public Affairs Office, from the Public Affairs Office, to highlight some of our exciting new and upcoming opportunities. Let's get straight into it.
That's right.
Nna, ke le swiftly, ke batla go studisa ko USA, United States of America.
There we go.
Ebile ke batla California.
There we go.
Tse dingwe tse, ke batla the beach. Talk to me.
Well, that is very, very simple. The first thing that you have to do, when you think about that, is first visit the website.
Okay.
Go into our website, www.educationusa.state.gov.
Okay.
Educationusa.state.gov. But in a nutshell, can I just summarize it for you?
Please, go ahead.
You just need 5 steps.
5 steps.
Just listen to the 5 steps.
Let's go. Number one.
The first one, you got to research your options. We have over 3,000 plus universities and colleges in the U.S.
Okay.
Not like here, but like 3,000.
3,000.
And so for you to do that, you need to actually know exactly what it is that you want.
Absolutely.
Right? So you research your priorities. You know, I like the fact that you actually have narrowed it down. Exactly that, you're on a great, because you know which state you want to go in.
Yes.
So we have so many states. So imagine you're only focusing on one. I know for sure I don't like the cold. So definitely Cali is for me as well. I'm not sure about the waves though, because I don't wave. Secondly, after you're done with step 1, step 2 for you is then now you need to look for financial aid.
Yes.
Because if you're an international student and if you're like me and you, we don't have enough cattle to sell.
Yes, absolutely.
To actually be able to afford.
Absolutely.
So, look for financial aid. We're going to be talking about financial aid later on during the course of the day, because that's also a topic on its own. But you must understand that wherever you're applying to, that's where you ask for financial aid. We don't have DTEF in the United States. There's no financing body you can apply to. So once you figured out that now I'm applying to Swift University, and Swift has a financial aid for $3,000 that I can apply to, and then I can go to Swift Third, put in your application.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So when you put in your application, that means you have all your credentials and everything else, all your recommendations, and now you've taken all the necessary tests that you need to do. Your application is on.
That's it.
4.
Number
now
4.
you have your admission, because you're an amazing person like me. And then after that, all you have to do is apply for your student visa, right? So must you go to our BW U.S. Embassy, right? .gov. That's our website.
Yes.
Apply for your student visa.
And some of these steps, I can call you at the U.S. Embassy and say, please, can you walk me through some of these things? Is that a possibility?
It is a possibility.
It's a
possibility. You can call me if you want to call me. My direct line, 373-2424, 373-2424, or email edwisabotswana@state.gov, and I'll call you back.
Wow.
I know, I am good like that.
So, send an email. Please call me kindly.
And if you are in Suruwe and I just happen to come from Francistown, and then you are available, I'll be like, Nchana, can I check you? I can come over and we can actually chat. And that's how we roll at the U.S. Embassy. We are here to serve the people.
The Stars and Stripes Show, America in Botswana. Let's talk about minimum requirements for me to apply to colleges in the U.S. I mean, over 3,000 universities. That could change the destiny of your life. The quality education. And let me tell you something. Young people, Harvard is possible. Right?
It is.
Harvard is possible. We've heard a lot about the Ivy League schools. We know a number of Botswana have actually been to Harvard. So definitely get your grades up. And one thing that I'd like to encourage young people is that start finding out about the U.S. programming and how to study in the U.S. now. Don't write the exam first and then say, I'm going to apply. Start now. Walk towards your goal. Make sure your goal, if Harvard says they want 1, 2, 3, and 4, at least you have an understanding of where you want to go, including parents and children should have these conversations today.
You know, I actually like the fact that you say so, because currently I'm the only advisor for the entire country. And for the first time, I have a backup. So I'm just going to do my job from now on. When I'm on leave, you're doing my job.
I got you.
Minimum requirements, you've actually said it. Because don't forget, you're going to school, right? So you need to be highly competitive. Now, what do I mean by highly competitive? You got to be able to sing a very beautiful song that has more A notes than D's.
Ooh, hello.
I'm just saying so.
Yes.
Because when we're talking about studying in the US is quality. So we all want to get quality, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So get your grades up. And then after that, we're talking civic engagement. We're not only looking at for you to be having grades, because good grades, I always tell my students, good grades means you know your way to the library. Well done. Done. You know how to read and study.
Yes.
But then I want to know, what else do you bring, right? Your character. So get involved in community service.
Wow.
Where have you volunteered? What else have you done? So that makes you now a well-rounded scholar.
Wow.
Right? A well-rounded person. You're not only about books. Like these ladies that you're going to interview, they're dreams ambassadors. They're going out of their comfort zone. They're doing something for the benefit of these are
community.
Just potential candidates, right?
Absolutely.
So have those are the minimum requirements. But also remember that maybe Harvard may not always be for everybody else.
Absolutely.
Hey, fingers? Yes. They're not all the same, different lengths, but they all make it.
Yes.
So we've got community colleges you can start off as a community college and then go into a university, right?
Wow.
Maybe you are a B plus average, right? So they're highly competitive schools and least competitive schools. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry. 3732424, holla. I'll explain it.
I love it. It's Gabs FM, powered to engage your world. And welcome to the Stars and Stripes show. Very, very informative. And I love what you're saying. Tota Hela, you're saying, look, there's different tiers to aim for. And that's a good thing. That is an extremely good thing because unlike a limited amount of options, if there are different tiers, that means that you can get your education. And like you say, I mean, how many people are in the U.S. Embassy and the world? I mean, the United States and the world. So you've got to ensure that and understand that you're competing with the global citizen.
Exactly.
And that's why the importance of focusing on your grades. I'd like to encourage Batsari Baba Reddy saying, please, please, please have these kind of meetings. Sit at the dinner table, sit now and say, okay, Obala Form 3, Obala Form 4, Obala Form 2. This is where we want to go.
Fantastic, because I like what you say. If your child currently, or you're listening to me and you're in Form 5 and you haven't thought about this, unfortunately, I'm going to say, a little bit late.
Yeah.
Because that means right now, if you're thinking about you're going to finish in December and apply to schools in the U.S., you're going to have a gap year. Because universities open in August.
Okay.
So if you finish in December, that means you're going to apply next year only to leave the following year. And so you need to actually start having this conversation when you're at like Form 3, Form 4. Actually, if you're in junior high, all teachers, please call me. Invite me to speak to your students.
Wow, you would do that?
That's what I do.
Okay.
I do outreaches also to schools. I even do outreaches even to companies that maybe they want to talk about masters or graduate studies. You can do that. If you call and request that we come over and actually have a conversation with staff members, with your students.
And is that a cost?
There's no cost. Everything mahala. Hey, nothing.
Ow.
I'm telling you, mahala is my smile. It's the beauty of who I am. I just can't help it. So everything is YB. So I just abba. I give freely.
And that's how we hear and end that particular segment. Thank you so much. Okay. Somebody's listening and they would like to engage you via social media. How do they find you?
On social media, they'll just have to go into our Facebook page at the embassy. But if you do want to reach out to me, I am for students. I do have WhatsApp advising sessions. So if you do because we need to reach out even for those who do not have capability to email. So you can WhatsApp me at 76-604-864. 76-604-864. Parents, if you're having PTA meetings, invite me. All you have to do is send an invite. The worst thing that could happen is, can we postpone? But it will never be a no.
Okay, and that's how we close that segment. Get educated. That is an opportunity. Proudly brought to you by the U.S. Mission in Botswana. Good afternoon.
The Stars and Stripes show is brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
Yo, Oscar! Uyazi ukuthi tata sekadivosa kwa 3 manje?
Vana kunini ngutshela ukuthi isizwe simnyama simoshakele uyabo? Ukayimulawa asimo states mo.
Vele asimo states njalo for stand. Yo 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 yo
It's Gabs FM, power to engage your world. Keep it locked. We are not going anywhere.
The Stars and Stripes show was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
It's Gabs FM, power to engage your world, and welcome to the Stars and Stripes show, proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy in Botswana, in Gaborone, and of course America in Botswana. And now I'm speaking to the very young people that I would like to celebrate, who are doing amazing things. And of course today we're speaking to, and the theme of today's show is PEPFAR Dreams. So we have the U.S. PEPFAR Dreams Ambassador, Kalalelo Dipopolo. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And how are you?
Fantastic. How are you? What does it mean to be a Dreams Ambassador? You seem to be a very, very important person.
Yes, being a Dreams Ambassador, I would like to think of myself as the glue that brings together all the sectors that are involved in the Dreams movement.
Wow.
Now, the sectors that are involved in the Dreams movement, I'm referring to my adolescent girls and young women, my Dreams implementing partners, and the stakeholders that I work with in the community.
Powerful.
Now, in the district, we are under the supervision of the district AIDS coordinators, who we work with to promote the Dreams program and its services to the vulnerable girls and young women.
Wow.
Yes.
You know, you speak so well, like Diaka. You speak like you are a leader of tomorrow, like you're going to be Her Excellency of the nation. You know that?
Yes.
Thank you so much. Look, are you a student? What do you do? And please kindly pull the mic a bit closer to yourself. Are you a student? What do you do?
Okay, I graduated last year from the University of Botswana, and currently I'm a full-time Dreams Ambassador for Greater Gaborone District.
And as a full-time Dreams Ambassador, is that a volunteering position? What is it?
Okay, it's a full-time job.
Okay.
Yes, where I coordinate all the Dreams implementing partners that I work with in the Greater Gaborone District.
Okay.
Being on Stepping Stones, Hope Worldwide, Humana People to People. And I also have my clinical partners being Tebelopele, Bumi, which supports 12 clinics right here in the Gaborone District. And then I also have EPIC, BGBVC, and Bocape as well.
Wow, man, you amaze me. Inspire me like right? Would say this serious like that. So, PEPFAR, Have It All Ambassador. What does it mean to young people? You know, I was speaking before about Kanya Drama Boy, and you know those issues related to HIV and AIDS. What does that mean for you in your personal capacity as a young people, as well as the role that you play in everyday life?
Okay, so you find that currently 67% of new HIV infections in youth occur mainly among our adolescent girls and young women.
67%? No way.
HIV infections. So you find that as the Dreams Ambassador, it means a lot to me because I know I'm making a difference in the lives of many adolescent girls and young women because I'm involved in assisting coming up with new programs and also improving the current ones so that we provide a safe and healthy environment for our adolescent girls and young women as a way to reduce new HIV infections.
Wow. And whether we like it or not, prevention is better than cure. So what PEPFAR Dreams is doing on the ground, ensuring that we come from healthier homes, that we understand our rights as young people, it is a very, very important conversation. I remember earlier Aisha spoke of some form of training. Did you get any training? Who did it? How was it? What was your experience like?
Okay, so I've gone under a lot of trainings from the Dreams program.
Okay.
Yes, just from the dreams training, lives monitoring and evaluation training, and currently I've been selected to be part of a program under the UN in collaboration with PEPFAR, where they're trying to strengthen my leadership skills and mentoring skills so that I can be able to maybe benchmark and work with other women from 15 sub-Saharan African countries right here.
Well, congratulations, my friend. Let me ask you this last question. HIV and AIDS affects youth in Botswana. What are you doing in life, and what is your perception? What would you like to say to the young person who's listening? What would you like to say to the parent who's listening right now?
Yes. So currently as Dreams Botswana, we provide a lot of programs where we are trying to empower our adolescent girls and young women. Mm-hmm. We provide social asset building, which focuses on mentoring and safe spaces. Now, safe space, we refer to a platform where our AGY, the Blues, can just discuss their day-to-day challenges. We also have the socio-economic approaches that we provide to our adolescent girls and young women. Mm-hmm. Programs such as Ready to Work, where we teach them about people skills, money skills, entrepreneurship skills.
Wow.
I'd encourage my adolescent girls and young women out there to join the Dreams program. We have a hashtag My Life, My Decisions, I Choose. As an individual, you need to ask yourself, who are you? Where are you going? How are you getting there? How are the decisions that you are making now going to positively impact your future?
Powerful stuff. Shout out to you. You are definitely the leader of tomorrow. 11:51 is your time. Welcome to the Stars and Stripes show, where young people are doing absolutely. I think the young people are making the old people look bad, in my opinion.
The Stars and Stripes show was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.
Shout out to the U.S. Embassy, of course, the BW government, the United States government, the U.S. Embassy, Gaborone, Gabs FM, PEPFAR, and so many more stakeholders that are doing amazing things in line with the HIV pandemic or epidemic, or whichever way you'd like to look at it. At the end of the day, the war is not over. And this year, the U.S. Embassy, in collaboration with PEPFAR, held a training called the Have It All training, where 5 winners from Have It All Reloaded contest got to travel to Gaborone and receive an extremely detailed, customized training on how to take their message to their communities and effectively make a difference and change lives. We got one of them who is in the building. She happens to be a brand ambassador with us here today, and she's all the way from Japi, Japan, aka Soroa. Her name is Katso Beki Mponang. Katso, how are you, and welcome to the show?
Hello, Sift. I am fantastic. How are you?
Japan.
Yeah.
In the building. Thank you so much for traveling all the way, and shout out to all the work that you're doing. I'm sure it's never easy. Let's get it straight into it. Tell me about who you are and what you do.
My name, Katso. Obviously, a gift, a reward. I am a student at Botswana Accountancy College. I'm currently studying entrepreneurship and business leadership.
Shout out to you.
I'm a natural born leader. I love public speaking. I love giving out to the community. I just love being out there.
We're starting our own show, me and you already. This is now me prophesying. I'm prophesying, okay? Fantastic. Look, so PEPFAR Have It All Ambassador, what does that mean to you as a young person? What does this movement mean to you? And, share your experience.
For me, it just means leadership, but not just like any leadership, like considerable, kind, like compassionate leadership, where you get to understand what's going on in your community and try to like come up with innovative ways to like reach out and get people more involved. Like you said, with the sad story of Drummer Boy. We go out there showing people that you can have it all. Like we always say, you can have it all through Treat All, where you know that even if you find out that you're HIV positive, you are going to live a fantastic life.
Wow.
And I'd say one of the most amazing experiences came when I was interacting with the kids, when I got to understand like what they think HIV is, how they treat people who are living with HIV. And it was actually fun because like you said, it's forgotten. Kids actually thought, you know what, I'm talking about standard 7 people. They were thinking, oh my god, this is like COVID. When I was asking, have you guys ever tested for HIV? And it's like, yeah. And I'm like, really? And I was like, yes. And I was like, what happened? How is it? And I was like, they put this thing up my nose. I was like, no, I mean that thing you get pinched on your finger. And it's like, no, not that one. It's for people who have unprotected sex. And I was just like, no, it's actually for everybody. You can, like, when you're playing, you can cut yourself and hurt yourself and like touch somebody. It happens. And then they were like, oh my god, what if I find out that I have HIV and I don't know, am I going to die?
Yeah.
And I was like, no, that's why I'm here. I'm telling you, go get tested. And the minute that you do, you're going to find out, okay, maybe you have it. Life doesn't change. You get treatment, you still become everything. And they were like, am I still going to be a doctor though? I was like, yeah, why not? You can still be anything that you want to be. You can travel, you can do whatever you want to be.
Powerful stuff, man. And I must say, you really, really also inspire me. I think I'm around amazing, unsung heroes. Let me talk about when you go to school. What kinds of questions do you engage with young people? What is the experience? I know you did allude to that just now, but, just walk us through, your engagement with school going youth.
The primary, like I just said, we had like common questions like what if I don't know that I have HIV, what's going to happen? And then I also did with like junior schools where they were very scared to like talk about it because it's very hard as Botswana, being raised by a black parent. You can't just be like, I have a boyfriend.
No,
you die. So like
boyfriend also
they would ask me like, is it safe for me to tell you like what can I share with you what's going on?
Okay.
Like, is somebody going to know? And I was just like, no, it's private and it's confidential. And they would be like, okay, do you offer like counseling? Can I tell you my problems? How are you going to help me? Like, and then I'll just be out there and try to understand. I actually do. My project is centered around like killing from the roots, like those things that make people end up like in risky behaviors. So I go about it through entrepreneurship. Because you also went around and asked like parents, like, what do you think is the problem? And they're like, people want money.
Well, fantastic. Unfortunately, we're fast running out of time and, there's a lot to touch on. We have the US versus Botswana. I'm going to sincerely apologize. We won't be touching on that for the sake of time. We had so much to talk about today. And of course, let me do this. I'm going to go straight into the giveaways. 3956962. I have a giveaway, a gift proudly brought to you by the US Embassy and of course the Stars and Stripes show in Botswana. All you got to do is call in on 3956962 and I'm going to ask you a simple question. What does DREAM stand for in the PEPFAR DREAMS scenario? I don't know if we touched on it, but I might just ask you a simpler question. But call on the show and pledge something to do with HIV and AIDS and spreading awareness around the subject. 3956962. First caller, first win. First caller, first win. Proudly brought to you by the US Mission in Botswana, America in Botswana, talking about so much. And of course, this is a conversation that must be had. HIV and AIDS is still a reality. The girl child and the boy child must be protected and shielded. And if you're a young person, if you are a parent listening to this conversation, please have that difficult conversation with it. We need to break down this cultural norm or this African cultural norm as Botswana gore ha re bue ka dikgang tsa sex in homes. Gabs FM, good evening.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Fantastic. All you got to do is pledge what you're going to do around spreading the message around HIV AIDS for young people. That's it.
What do I have to do?
You've got to pledge to me. Say, Swift, I pledge to do this and educate young girls around HIV and AIDS, and then you win.
Okay, I pledge to Spread awareness around people around me.
Okay.
And to young girls around me to know that HIV
Okay.
is no longer a stigma. It's something that you can deal with, find help, find the right people to help you.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, I would also like to encourage young girls who are out there who are still between the ages of 9 and 24 to go and hear and learn more about dreams. Because
Okay.
I'm also part of it.
Shout out to you. Cross your heart and hope to die. Say, I cross my heart, Swift.
Across my heart.
The whole nation is my witness. Shout out to you. You're a winner. Hold the line. I'll definitely take your details off air. Kings and Queens, unfortunately, we're fast run out of time. Shout out to the Stars and Stripes show, America in Botswana. Proudly brought to you by the U.S. Embassy. Shout out to the PEPFAR brand ambassadors, the Have It All ambassadors. You guys are our leaders of tomorrow. And let me tell you something, ladies. It's not a gender thing. You qualify to be a strong leader. Thank you so much. Kings and Queens, good afternoon. We're crossing over to the news.
The Stars and Stripes show was brought to you by the U.S. Embassy.